Okay, Monday morning in the kingdom. Yes, it's Monday morning, and I'm so on location over here, and you guys are over there. Yes, just like on Sesame Street. All right, this morning we woke up to 0 temperature. See, I changed my hat. I have the toque on. All right, but feels like -2. It's not even getting chilly at night to freeze. Yeah, to freeze up everything. So if we were on the winter roads trying to run the last loads in like we used to do before I retired, and it's not freezing, that's not good. But that's why I retired, because I make more money doing nothing and knowing I'm getting paid. Yes, yes, the joys of retirement. All right, so on the yo-yo scale, +32 Fahrenheit, but feels like +28. Also, too, I'm standing over here because over there is the sun. Everybody's all hyped up about the solar eclipse except for us. We're so far north it might be like the sun went behind a cloud. All right, let's see what we got here. We have clear skies. Yes. Oh, that sun's bright. Look at that. So maybe we will see a partial eclipse or darkness in the sky, but I don't know. Hopefully I'm outside welding on the Salvage Sloop. This project's being delayed because of this warm weather. Unfrickin' real. Plus, I'm in the shop working on the 46 Chevy truck, which is turning out to be a big project because we decided to do it all. Not wait another 10 years, and then finish it. Let's try and get it done right because we have the tools, the technology, and everything. When I did the 45 Chevy 3-ton, which is over there, in my eyes, okay, I had that Lincoln welders with gasless. I switched them from gas to gasless. It was a joke. I spent more time banging my head against the wall like a marriage. All right, over here, look at this. All right. Before the great lockdowns, we wore these when we painted or did oily transmissions and stuff like that. Now we can't even afford these, not even for the bedroom. Unreal. Just the gloves, to save your fingers or to keep the paint off. Now we're true men. We take the brake clean to our hands to find the cuts, and especially with the boo-boo, yeah, to clean the paint off your fingers after you splash it all over the place. Maybe if I didn't keep the paintbrush in the can and, 2-year-old paint that's kind of dry and I would say not flowable, my painting skills would improve. All right, so today we're going to work on that 46. Oh, I just did the full rotation. All right, so we're going to work on that 46, and then when the solar eclipse is outside, we'll be outside welding. So we spend the morning in the shop. Oh, sorry about that. So we spend the morning in the shop while it's chilly outside. We got the wood stove going. You can't see the smoke while I can't. All right. And then we come outside in the afternoon to enjoy the sunshine. Yes, to enjoy the sunshine. All right. We did the full rotation and we're back to the 45 Chevy. I'm so confused today. It must be Monday. All right. There's the 45. When we welded it, we had the Lincolns. And in the end, the Lincolns, how would you say, got run over by the D6 because I couldn't sell them or give them to anybody else to, how would you say, burden them. Same as the promo bike, which is over here. Okay, we didn't sell parts of it or anything or burden or the other people. We just cubed it, called it good, just like the Lincoln welders. We crushed them. All right, I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, even the other flag of exercise is in a limp state. Yes, that's kind of nice having the flag there so I can see how windy it is out my office window. But also, too, the power of the sun. Look at that. We have snowpack because the sun... Oh, my finger. There we go. We have snowpack because the sun isn't actually getting a chance to beat on it because this tank sleigh shed is in the road. All right, but over here, the sun can get this scaling bar. Yes, this is a scaling bar from the mine. You used it to break away rocks, pry, everything like that. It's called the scaling bar. Very nice to have around the yard. We keep this one out in the open so we can, how would you say, free up doors and sleighs or stuff. Oh, these lips. Okay, we can free up stuff quickly. All right. So the sun is beating on this rod, this steel shaft, the scaling bar. But the sun is warm, heats the shaft or the rod or the scaling bar. And look at the perfect circle around the base because that means it's generating heat or reflecting the heat. Oh, I'm just a sun guy today, but wealth of knowledge because I watch Bill Nye, the science guy. Well, we got a little bit of wood stove smoke as I walk the dogs and we head back into the kingdom from the South Trail. Oh, that sun is warm. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and I did it. If I was able to work late last night instead of quitting to enjoy a good meal on a Sunday, I would have had this done. Plus, I killed the last of that paint. Yes, after 2 years, the brushes and everything. Well, the brushes are soaking in diesel for the next can of paint we can buy, but we can actually order paint in now because it won't freeze on the truck when it comes north to the end of the world. But we got it done. It's the best we can do. We can fart around for the next 2 weeks trying to fix this and stuff like that. But the best thing to do is take this truck on a holiday to Arizona. Yes, be a snowbird, a Canadian snowbird. Drive down to Arizona, set up a camp, and buy a little MIG welder, and then order the parts for the replacement floorboards, everything like that, and then spend the winter enjoying the basking in the sun in the Arizona and fix all these little things, because the freight for these body panels, anything is outrageous. So if we spend 100 at Rock Auto, we spend over 100 in freight. Doesn't matter the size of the product or anything like that. But this turned out very well. We're very pleased. Now I did it so if I have to put a gas tank back under here, it can be done. It turned out real well. And splashing the paint over the welds make it even look better. So I'm very pleased with this Hobart Handler 100 compared to those Lincolns. The Lincolns caused me grief and heartache, plus I had an excuse to drink. Now with the Hobart Handler 100 being able to weld this and making it look so easy, I can drink in celebration. All right, let's go have some lunch and some drinks. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, we got the shop doors open, the hose shack doors open to dry everything out. Yes, get that sun beating on everything and dry it out. The snow is melting away from the shop doors to the loader shed and the hose shack doors. Just look at these channels we got here. Just everywhere. All right, I'll raise the camera up a bit so you guys can see the solar eclipse. Yeah, right. This is the end of the world, and the sun's just over there to the south. Oh, we better not go too high. Somebody might get the flash, like the welder's flash. All right, let's walk over here. I had to get organized and ready. Okay, so this will slowly melt away. Just like, just like a little kid. I got my water channels going, but also too, when the boss decided October 31st we're building a shop extension, first thing we did was landscape and get it flat, because we knew the water we could direct it over here. So spending that extra day landscaping worked out good. Plus the fact this shop will sink, the extension will sink once the ground thaws out in June, so then we can seal it up and everything like that. We anticipated the sinkage, but then again, we've lived up here for almost 30 years, so we understand how to say Mother Nature. All right, so now we got the water flowing good. We got the welding sleigh opened up. Ooh, which way should we go? We'll go this way. All right, trying to do these walk and talk videos outside so everybody gets their exercise. All right, so the welding sleigh is opened up because we'll use the welder in there to do the welds on here. We're in slow motion today. I don't know why. It must be the alcohol beverage last night we drank. But also, too, we have a sweet victory with the 46 Chevy cab being completed. And we can bolt it down in a couple weeks' time when that paint dries, because I splashed it on thick. All right, let's get to work before the boss comes. Okay, on the Salvage Loop here, one thing I learned when I was in the shop and I knew my limits or talents back then, that these holes in the side up here, for when the forks went through to carry it around and stuff, I knew I couldn't do it in the little shop there. So this is what we did. Let's see the walk and talk or the slip and fall. So what we did was create our own problems. So I made templates of those holes. Okay, I got a glare in the screen, so I'm trying to see. This solar eclipse there really screws us up. I should have taken the day off. So now these holes aren't perfectly square. Okay, so this one here took me about a half an hour, but I got it to fit. I should have taken and squared off the hole and then made a square piece fit in. But this is more fun and it tests my talents, okay? So this will work out pretty good. The beam is bent and everything like that. So what we'll do is we'll tack it here, hammer it down, hammer it and hammer it. We have a plate underneath that's welded so it can't fall through. Yeah, I picked it up a couple of times before I realized I got to put a plate on it. All right, let's go talk about the welding sleigh over here. Okay, the welding sleigh was the welding truck. We got it back in the late 80s or whatever when I lived down south, and this is how it was, the welding truck. All right, you can see the tail lights on the back from when it was a truck. And down in here, I don't know if we can have enough talent. All right, so there's the spring bushings right here. This was where the rear axle was right there. But see all the gussetry under there? Ooh, that's a big word. This 46 Chevy truck was had the frame lengthened in 1957 by Farmer Brown for a longer grain box. And then in 1996, the government of Manitoba decided I had to have that frame X-rayed for this truck to pass as safety to be on the road. Well, you argue with them, 1957 till now, hasn't broke so the guy could weld. So we ended up losing. So, and they wanted it X-rayed too. So we made a welding sleigh out of it. So that's the front of the frame right there. And this is the welding box. All right. So what we did when it was a welding truck, we had a Miller diesel welder right here because we were doing some welding in the mines and stuff like that. We're a big time contractor. And then the cab was right here for the truck and the motor at the front. Okay. I don't know if we can see the front frame horns. They're right down there. Okay. So that worked out good that the welding truck became the welding sleigh because we took a lot of parts off for the other 46 Chevys and stuff. So with this Miller welder that was here, the big diesel, it blew a connecting rod and it went through the cab of the truck or the box of the truck. I forget what it was. So that thing was junk. And that's when we had enough of Millers and we switched over to Lincolns. So this little Lincoln welder, the Ranger 8, was bought brand new. And it's about 27 years old, 28 years old, and it's always been inside the box here. Yes, great place for it. And we just recycled, repurposed, and made everything ourselves. So that's what I do. It was a Perth dry cleaning box down in Brandon, Manitoba. Perth Dry Cleaning was a big dry cleaning outfit, and they went around and did all your shop towels, coveralls, everything like that. I got a job there when I was 16 pressing shirts. So these are the rods go across. That was to hang all the clothes and everything when there was a dry cleaning box. So it tells you how old this box is. Plus, if you look at it, it's been riveted together right here. Okay, so there's the to-do list. Well, that's what we have to do. So it served as well as a welding sleigh and as a welding truck. Okay, these Kohler motors sure are a lot better than the Briggs & Stratton that I grew up on. So in the course of 28 years, we've done one fuel pump, which is up here, and that happened just after we got it, and then we bent a connecting rod. I don't know how, a push rod. There's a little push rod in here or whatever. So that bent or whatever, but that was a minor detail. It was quick parts sent up by Sir Rodney, so he knows where to get them. So here's the fuel system. Everything we have has the filter inline so we can see if it's getting gas. We had a fancy three-way valve, which was so freaking confusing that we went to this way. Keep it simple. Fuel is on, fuel to the outside tank is off, so we know it's going to start. And we run the big batteries too, okay? So that's the way we get them started and running. We got to put the master switch on this one. It's been sitting there for about 10 years, so we'll get around to it. And the exhaust pipe is there. It's not sealed to the muffler because where does the rain go? You want the rain to fall out, but we've had good luck with it. So over here, we'll try the walk and talk. And there we go. That's the fuel barrel for when we're, how would you say, on the trails, the cat train trails, so they'll run. That's 208 liters. So that's a 45-gallon drum in Canada. That'd be the 55-gallon drum in the United States of America. This is a Bumblebee barrel because it's black and that's supposed to be yellow. So that means it has an epoxy coating inside for aviation fuel. Those are the barrels you want so they don't rust and contaminate your system. Also, too, this gives you an idea of the checker plating from the 1930s. So joys of recycle, repurpose, and reuse. That's what we did there. We tore a building down and that's where we got the plates and stuff like that. And then up front here, we just put a box up here. Oh, I should have done this on the other side. We'll try over here. That sun sure is bright for being a solar eclipse. All right. So we put the box on the front there. We have stuff shoved in there and we keep our salvage cables, parts for the sleighs and everything like that. That's the way we do it in the Great White North. Okay, the welding sleigh has to carry everything for salvage and everything like that. So we carry lots of oils, lots of parts, everything like that. We have the cats. That's why we like the one style of cat, IH. The belts fit everything, and that's why we try not to interbreed them. So this works out good. Everything's homemade. These shelves, everything here is like old, like maybe 35 years or so now, or more than that. I don't know. Okay, so I get a kick out of this. We were gifted this vise. It says right there, 8-inch manly vise, 8 inches. Ooh, that's big. But look at the little handle. girly man handle. So this is the part where the ladies can insert the manhood jokes about something being too small. But we like this vise because it's got the long jaws so we can get stuff in. But we have to unbolt it and put it inside the box, because when the sleighs turn and everything gets wonky out on the trails, guess what? Mr. Vice gets whacked and breaks off. So we kind of like this vise. It's kind of a funny vise. It only has the 2 bolts, whereas most vices have the 3rd bolt right here. So it's just what we want. It was gifted to us and we smile because it serves its purpose. Okay, one of the very first sleighs we built was this rocker sleigh. The old timers at the Legion laughed at me for dragging out the broken wooden rotten sleigh parts and stripping the steel off, okay? So this is the sleigh, and I got a shadow here. We'll try to see what we can do. So you see all the slots here? Okay, that's the hitch. It pulls. But the hitch is actually pulling on this rod here. We don't pull on the skis. The skis have to free float. So you're sending the power back to the bunk. So the bunk is pulling, okay? So then the skis are able to free float. Okay, I moved closer without falling over. Okay, so you're pulling on the bunk here. The skis can free float. We call this the rocker sleigh because it's a rocker, okay? It's the worst sleigh ever made because when you're trying to make this bolt onto oak and wood, guess what? By the time you put all the bolts in, there's nothing left of the wood. So then the wood splits. That's why it wasn't a very good design. And the old timers laughed at us when we built these sleighs. But the thing is we're building a different style of sleigh each time. We're not making one sleigh and that's the way it is. We make them all different sleighs to show the poor designs, the great designs, and how they work and how they don't work. Okay, let's try this side here. So this is the cross chains, okay? And you're pulling on the chains. The chains come through, and there's a big slot. I don't know if we can see the slot over there. I moved to this side because of the shadows or whatever. The sun's too bright. So that's what it does. So these skis free float again, and the power is transferred through to the bunk here, okay? So then the welding sleigh actually sits on that bunk. Nothing is anchored. It free floats, so everything can jiggle and wiggle and everything for the rough terrain. And we've been building these skis for close to 30 years, and it's kind of our design. We got a balancing ski. It works out good. It's all recycled steel, repurpose, reuse, and stuff like that. So hopefully this summer we're going to dress up this frame, make it look good in the pictures, because that's the way it was, and we just added on over the years and removed and cut everything off. So also too, to paint another coat on this thing with all this booger stuff on the side, that takes up a lot of paint and hard on the brush when you're wanging it in there. All right, let's go have some coffee and relax. Okay, 6 o'clock in the kingdom, and we had a successful day. Yes, how would you say? The salvage loop is not level, which is perfect. So we worked the welds to that degree. All right, let's see if we can walk and talk. All right, so up here, we have these holes filled in. Oh, we got shadows, the shadow nose, yes. So I did all my welds going up, okay, so I can control it. And this worked out very well. I made sure these were done because when I flip it over, I can weld the other side. So that's why I waited till this thing was on its side to put these patch panels on, because that worked out really well. Because doing it in the shop, that would have been such a nightmare. Oh well. Okay, everything on the lift structure has been welded on this side. We haven't done any weldings on the runners or the skis because we'll do that tomorrow when I'm sober. All right, so we got these all done. So this is working out good. And then over here, this is the clincher here. This is where we have to work that rod, work it, get everything done right. All right, so here we are. I'll see if I can do it. Okay, this one here was a nice, beautiful uphand, and then we went up. Today I was welding with the rod tight and close because I was trying to control the slag entrapment, which we had there, okay? So once you get into anything with threads, that just drives you nuts. It just kind of boogers all up. And then over here, all right, everything's been welded. I just did a bunch of layers right there. It's cooling down right now to get into the curved piece here. And then over here, there's no way we can do it. So we did a series of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it fills it in nicely. Okay, tomorrow we do the ski runners welding on this side and at the top here. Plus we have to do the welds up in here. Okay, so we'll do an uphand here, and we have to clean this out here buff it clean and get that slag entrapment out. But you gotta remember, this was on the shop floor when we welded it. We want that smooth because it has to slide back and forth. All right, let's put the tools away, and we have to pick up all the cords because they'll freeze to the ground. And the one thing about working outside in the water, you make sure your electrical cords are up in the air because you don't want anything shorting out. And be very careful when you're welding. The current we're welding today was fairly high. It's probably more than what the house is using and stuff like that. So that's why we had to switch to the gas welder. All right, let's get these tools put away and have a drink.
Monday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 7 a.m. and I'm getting ready for work. As you can see, we have a bit of a sunrise. There is also a total solar eclipse today, so lunch at the school will be early. I'm pretty sure they're doing it 10:45 till 11:45, and then we'll be stuck inside all day. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and make breakfast. Almost 8 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to head to work. I'm going in a little bit early today so I can get stuff ready. Since there's an early lunch because of this total eclipse and that, the school day will be a little messed up today. I don't think many kids will show up anyways. Now let's head inside, finish up, and get to work. 11:30 and I'm just finishing up lunch. I got home at 10:45 a.m. for lunch because of the solar eclipse, so the school is having an early lunch, and then we all go back and we're on lockdown until the eclipse is over. But I do have a link up so we can watch it on the big TV and then do some crafts and stuff, and I'll be teaching them about the solar eclipse. Let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. 4 p.m. I just made home from work. It was a pretty good afternoon. I had about 6 kids. There was 2 this morning, so that's pretty good. All we did was do arts and crafts and talk about the solar eclipse and a few other things, and then we watched it on the live stream, so they had a lot of fun. Now it's time to get the quad out and head on over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. 4:30 and I had no problem getting into the kingdom. As you can see right here, it's melted a lot. Anywhere the quad has been driving, it's melted pretty good, so now I can just stay in those ruts and get in and out of the kingdom. Now I'll head on down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. Just after 4:30 and we're not doing anything in the kingdom today. My dad is working on the Salvage Sloop. As you can see here, he's been welding most of the afternoon, getting it ready to flip back over. As you can see on the bottom here as well, it is pretty wet in the kingdom, so we're not able to do very much, but once it dries up, we'll be able to have some fun. You can only imagine how our trails are in the bush. Almost 5 p.m. I'm officially done in the kingdom. Since we're not doing anything, I'm gonna head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather. Maybe I'll go back to the school and do a couple things over there, but let's get going. Just after 5 p.m. and I made home from the kingdom and put the quad away. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and do the weather. As you can see, it is pretty warm out here and a lot has melted. I actually don't have much snow in my front yard anymore. My garden's also looking pretty good since I shoveled it out yesterday. Hopefully everything starts growing. Now let's do the weather. 6 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's 11 degrees Celsius, which is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty warm out the last couple days. As you can see, we barely have any snow left. I think a few more days and most of the snow in my front yard will be gone. It should be fun with all this mud, but now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, that sun is bright. We've had enough today. It's too muddy to stand over by in front of the tank shed with all the flags. So here we go. So hopefully if the gods allow, the gods of gravity allow, and we get good welds tomorrow, we can flip this over with the green toy. All right, let's check on the flags. I'm standing over here. A very successful day. Ooh, that solar eclipse. I'm glad I took the afternoon off. Yeah, right. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.